Okay, so I've updated this to include all of the instructions for each of the components that you need, not just the floor plan, site plan, or whatever I had written before. So as you go down, you'll now see that it's organized by the order of sheets. So I hope that it's pretty straightforward. I'm basically telling you what I want to see on each of the sheets. I think you saw the cover sheet one already. Everything that's on the cover sheet already is the same. The site plan, I want you to call out certain things, like I want to see hatches, trees. I do want to see the detail of those mow strips. Those are the light lines that are on the concrete. And I definitely want to see a north arrow. Every plan view needs to have a north arrow, unless it's like an enlarged plan or something like that. Door, window types and schedules. I basically told you what schedule fields you need. And for the schedules, the window types and door types legends, those are just going to be elevation only. The sample plans that you have are showing it floor plan and elevation. I only need to see elevation. And make sure that you're filling in the fields too. Just use similar data to the data that you see in the sample plan. So for instance, I keep doing that. Back here in schedules, when you're looking at stuff like, I think I called out glazing, I want you to basically emulate this. So if you have frosted glazing or clear glazing on that particular window type, I'd like you to emulate that and include that in your schedule. So I think that one in particular, guys, if you want to spend time with anything here in class before you take off, this is an important one. Because whether or not you have a project parameter, shared parameter, and whether or not it's type or instance based is kind of critical for this. And it's very confusing. You guys were all very confused when I explained it before. Moving on to the more normal ones, you already know about the plan. I called that out for you. I separated the reflected ceiling plan to show you that I want to see the lights. I want to see them located with dimensions, but I don't need to see switches, the dashed lines that represent the actual electrical wiring. And if there are any like custom fixtures and stuff on the ceiling, I want to see those. For the roof plan, it's probably one of the simplest plans, and I'm pretty sure you pretty much have everything on there already. You do not need to show grids in the roof plan. I think. I don't think we put grids in the roof plan, but basically all the stuff that you have on there already, the slopes, seeing the second floor parapet roof, all that stuff is going to be critical for the roof plan. You do not need to see the site plan in the roof plan. Exterior elevations, for the most part, just emulate what you see in the set. I'm asking for window tags. I want to see materials hatches, which in the elevation view really is just lap siding. I do want a north, south, east, and west elevation, which we pretty much already have as a default anyway, and I think I already collected that from you guys, so that should be easy. And I want to see the 25-foot maximum height line and dimension associated with that. When you look at the elevations in the drawing, you'll see it. Make sure, the only specialty thing here is dimensioning the heights of special architectural elements. So that means putting a dimension at the height of the parapet condition, putting a dimension at the base of unique or like transom windows, that sort of thing. You need to actually locate those vertically. Just use the existing set, the sample set, as your guide. Whatever types of things it is dimensioning, you should dimension as well. For building sections, I only need 2 building sections. I want one longitudinal and one lateral. So that basically means that you need to have 2 building sections, and they need to be at 90 degrees to one another, and at 90 orthogonally across the building. That's really it. Outside of that, I don't care which sections you take exactly, but for the most part, this should be pretty much already done. 1/4 inch scale, I want you to show the ground plane and hatch. A simple version of the foundation. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be like the right foundation type. I just want to see that you're able to put it in there and represent a foundation. Make sure that you're tagging rooms and you're showing furniture and interior architectural elements that are relevant in the view. And then for wall sections and details, these two are sort of correlated with one another. I want you to produce 3 wall sections, and I want you to produce 8 details. Those details need to correspond to and be called out by the wall sections. Okay, so those 3 wall sections do need to be on 3 different sides of the building, and they should not look exactly the same. Like those 2 that we had on either side of the garage, not a good option, right? Even though technically it fits the parameter, pick 3 unique conditions. Yeah, so by that, I think that the second sub-bullet kind of takes care of that, because those details need to generate a minimum of 8 unique conditions for you to detail. Okay, they're going to be at 3/4 inch or 1 foot. 1 inch equals a foot. Make sure that you're just kind of emulating what you see in the sample drawings in terms of annotation. So if the annotations are calling out the grade line, then I want you to call out the grade line in each of your wall sections, which they do, so you should. And then finally, for the details, 8 minimum details, they must correspond to those sections, and they must be shown and referenced in those sections using the detail callouts that you guys have been shown how to do. And make sure that you're including all of the annotations that you see in the sample drawings. Okay, so basically it's in your best interest to pick wall sections that are, utilizing those details as much as possible, because then you can just take those and extrapolate them. There are only a couple of details for every condition in this building, so you should be fine. It shouldn't be a challenge to find those conditions. And then, make sure that you're utilizing proper line weights and detail components. So that means when you're drawing details, I don't want everything to just be a number 1 thickness continuous line type. Like you're going to have some hidden lines, possibly. You're going to show some hatches. You might show studs or wood blocking that you're utilizing your detail components for. If you have a siding detail, you might use your repeating detail component that we've all generated by now. So that about sums up all of the requirements for your final project. So what questions do you have?
Returning in the 3D model as well?
Yes, I'll collect your Revit file and your PDF. Yeah, and you won't have to print, so that's good. That's
So
good
what
news.
are we going to do for the final? Because we all have the same thing, so it's not like we can pin up.
Yeah, we're not going to do a pinup. I actually have something in mind for that. I just need to kind of clear it with the authorities and that be.
Wait, what?
I have to clear what I want to do for our final with interested parties. So,
Interesting.
huh? No, not a potluck. All right, we can do a potluck if your potluck item gets a bad grade, then you fail the class.
Oh.
I'm going to have everybody give the potluck contributions a grade. And if your potluck contribution fails, then you fail the class. How about that?
All right.
No, we're not doing that. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so you guys understand what to do for the final. Let's kind of jump back into lab time. I imagine that you guys will have questions. I really do encourage you to jump into schedules while you have me here today and on Thursday, because they are going to throw you for a loop, I guarantee it. Okay.
Oh, when is this due?
This will be due on the day of the final. So the 12th, I think it was? Something like that. Tuesday, yeah. Tuesday of finals week.
Tuesday 12th.
Same time, right?
Yeah, 7 o'clock. Yes.
Are you not here next Tuesday?
I will. I won't be here next Tuesday. Wait, no, I'll be here next week, and then there's 1 week before final. So we have 2 weeks of class left after this. Well, 3 technically, including this, and then final week is after that. So I'll be out June 5th, I think it was.
Yeah. So after today, we have the 29th, the 31st,
4 class periods, including today.
and the 7th.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so today, 29th, 31st, and the 7th.
Yep. Okay. Cool.